Welcome to smiklearn. In today's class, we are going to see React training part 3. First, we will see what is functional components. In that functional components, we have two different types of functions. One is normal function, and other one is arrow functions. We will see what is that functional arrow functions and all. The second thing is we have the props. Props is nothing but it's a properties. How we can use properties in the functional components. And we'll see next is we'll see state. A state is nothing but it's a variable where it has its own value, and then we'll see what is hooks. So first we will see what is functional components. Core building blocks of a React. Functional component is a core building blocks of a React. So every in React programming, each and every coding we have to write as a functional components only. Previously they were using its class components, and nowadays we are not using class components, we are using only the functional components for the core building blocks. So then the functional components works independently. It doesn't depend on any other codings or any functions. It can work independently. That's the base of functional components. And in functional components, it has its own structures and methods. So we can define our own structures and we can define our own methods in the functional components. And next is we will see it is a reusable one. Reusable in the sense if you define one component, that component can be reused in all other parts of the projects. So that is the base of the functional components. And then we can write stateless and stateful component. We will see what is that stateless and stateful component in the React.js. Okay. So next we are going to see the normal function. The normal function, how we are going to write a normal function is a function name and then function name. Okay. Normally if in C, C++ and all, we will be writing this like this only. Function name, and then you have the open braces and close braces, and then we have the return statement. The return statement will have contains the HTML part. This is how we have to write the normal function. Okay. So next we will see how to write a arrow function. Arrow function is nothing but you can see the arrow here. That arrow is nothing but this is the function we have to write using the arrow. So this is called as arrow function. It's just like a same function, a normal function only. So we have to define a constant keyword, and then you have to say the function name, and then you have to bracket, then arrow, then we'll start the open braces and close braces, and then we'll have the return statement. In the return statement will have the HTML part. Okay. Now we'll see how to create a functional component. Is an example I will be going to show you how to write a functional components. Okay. So this is a div class. In the div class you have to write a p tag welcome to React programming. Okay, this is a p tag I have given here, and then div. Okay. If you run this program, you can see the output here. Welcome to React programming. And then we can put the logo here. Say image source is equal to, so you can say logo. Then alt logo. You can put the logo here. And say this. You can see the output here, logo. You can say the size, width and height. Width 20 pixel, height 20. Oh, it looks very small, right? So we'll put 200, 100, 100, 200. It looks smart. Okay. We'll make still more height. Okay, it's look good. So this is a simple component I have created here. Okay. You can define the CSS also. Either there are two ways we can define the CSS. One is external CSS like app.css. We are calling the app.css outside. So this is the external CSS. Okay. We can write internal CSS. In the next class I will show you how to write an internal CSS. Okay, so this is how we have to write a functional components. Then export default app. Every function which you are going to call in the other pages, you have to say export default app. Every function should be exported. Okay, now I will show you how to write a child function child component. I will show you child component. You have to start with the C capital. In React programming, each and every function statement should start with a capital letter. Okay, you have to say return div welcome to child component. Okay, this is how you have to write, and then you have to say child component here. That's it. So this will call the child component title. Welcome to child component. So you can see here how to write child components. Calling this is the parent component. App is the parent component. In the parent component, I have written one function here. Is a child component function. That child component function can be called here. Okay. This is normal function. How to write a normal function and how to call this normal function inside the parent function. Now app is the parent function. This child component is the child component. Okay. So this is how we have to write the normal function. Okay. This is an example of creating a normal function. Next I will show you how to write a arrow function. Constant, and then you have to say my arrow function equal to bracket, then arrow mark. You have to say return div welcome to arrow programming, arrow function. Okay, this is another example of an arrow function. I will show you how to call this arrow function. Here you will say arrow function, my arrow function. I said no, you have to write this, every function should be a capital letter. We will say my arrow function. It should be a capital letter, otherwise it won't accept. Okay, now you can see it shows in the blue color. Okay, so like this it should be displayed. So if we run this program, you can see the function here, welcome to arrow function. So in this program you have seen how to write a simple function and then how to write a arrow function. Both are same, both are similar. Only the difference is you have to use function keyword here. Here you have to say constant keyword, and then you have a brackets and then close brackets. Here you have to say equal to bracket, then arrow mark. Just in today's class you will see a simple differences between the function and arrow function. This is a simple definition, simple differences. In upcoming classes we can see what are the major differences between the normal function and the arrow function. Okay, there will be no major differences. I will show you how to write where to use arrow function, how to use functional normal function. Okay, so now in this class you have seen how to write a simple function and then how to write a arrow function. I have shown you. Okay, so we'll see what is props in React programming. Props are nothing but it's a properties. The properties we are going to pass between the parent and child. So it's a fundamental part of the React for passing data and customizing their behavior. How to pass data from parent to child, how to pass data from child to parent. There are two ways we can pass the data from parent function to child component and then child component to parent component. That is the properties. Through properties only you can pass the data. Second thing, the properties used for passing data from one component to another component, typically from parent to child or child to parent. Okay, it is immutable. Immutable means you cannot change the value. When you are passing a value from parent to child, you cannot change the value in the child. In same way, when you are passing the data from child to parent, you cannot change the value in the parent component which is passed from the child component. That is immutable. Then destructuring. Destructuring in the sense we can see the code very clearly and easier to read when you use props in the React programming. Then drilling. Drilling means passing the value to multiple levels of components. If you have parent, child, and then again child, so we can drill down to one component to multiple levels of components. That is drilling. Then enabling to build dynamic and interactive UI. We can build dynamic and interactive UI using this properties. We will see the example of how to create properties. We will see how to create props in this program. Okay, how to create props, how to send props to the child components, how to send properties to the child components. Okay, so now we will say a child component, we will say title equal to welcome to, we will say here title welcome to. Otherwise we can define our variable here. How to declare variable, we can see that constant welcome title, we will say title equal to welcome to child component. I am passing the parameter from here. Okay, so I am saying title and then bracket title. You have to define the variable. Whenever passing a variable, you have to say within a curly braces. You have to say like this, title equal to. Okay, so like this you have to pass. Then in the child component you have to receive that props here. We will say props. So in that props you can say a props is nothing but it's a variable. You can use it as a variable here. So props dot title, you can say like this, props dot title. Why I am saying props dot title? Because this title I am passing it here as a props here. So props dot title. Okay, if you run this program, you can see the output here. Welcome to child component. I am just refreshing once again. You can see here welcome to child component. You want to see the difference? I will show you. Welcome to smiklearn. I am saying welcome to smiklearn. You can see the difference here. Welcome to smiklearn. Immediately it is getting refreshed. Okay, so this is how we can pass the props from child component, from parent component to child component. This is one way of passing the props. So props is nothing but it is a property. I am passing the property here title. Okay, otherwise you can say directly like this. Remove this, you can say title and then you can say title. That's it. This is another way of passing the value. Either without bracket, if you use, you can directly call this title. So if you run this program, you can see the output here. Welcome to smiklearn. I am just refreshing once again. You can see here welcome to smiklearn. I am just changing a value here. smiklearn training program. Saving it. smiklearn training program. You can see the output here. Okay, and then you can pass the h1 tag also here. I am just passing h1 tag. I am just placing this within the h1 tag. Okay, I am not passing, actually I am setting it. So welcome to smiklearn training program. Okay, so this is how we can pass the props from parent to child. So this is passing the parent from parent to child. In previously we have only one way passing. Now currently we can do two-way passing from child, parent to child and child to parent. I will show you in next class how to pass from child to parent. Okay, in this program we have seen how to pass props value from parent to child. In next upcoming classes we can see how to pass parameters from child to parent. Okay, now we are going to see how to pass parameter from child component to parent component. That I will show you how to pass the parameters and how to pass the props from child to parent. Okay, so I am removing this return and trimming it, and then I am putting as a title here, title and now I am in the child component. Okay, and then I have to say set title. I'll say let sets title equal to then new title arrow function. You can say constants also. Instead of let, we can say constant. Then we'll say console log title output from parent, comma set title. This is how we can debug in the React programming using the console.log. Console.log will display the output in the browser console. I will show you how to you can see that in the browser console. So I have created one function here. Set title is a function, and then I am passing one parameter here, new title, and then you have to say new title here. We will say new title. Okay, this is new title, and then in the parameters you have to say set title. Like this you have to pass. You have to pass the function. So if you pass this function, if you change the value here, that will be reflected here in the console.log. We will see the output here. Okay. So how to pass the parameters also I will show you. We will see the output now. So you can see here, welcome to React programming, and then you can see title output. I am in the child component. This is how we can see the console log. The console log will be shown in the console parameters. You can see this. If you want to see this tool, I will show you how to see these tools. Go to the extension, more tools, and then you have to say developer tool. In the developer tool, you can see the console here. If you refresh this, you can see the console here. Output from parent. Now I am in the child component. This is how it will be displayed. This is called as console log. Console log will be displayed in the browser console, which is used for mainly for debugging. You can do debugging. I will show you how to debug using the React tools also. We have React tools for debugging. Okay, so let me explain this program. So from the child component, I am calling this child component, and then title is equal to set title. Set title is nothing but it is a function. We have to write as a function only. So this parameter, it will pass the value here, new title. So that new title will be printed here. Okay, so this set title I am just passing as a parameter here. This is called as a function. In this function I am passing a value here. Now I am in the child component. So this parameter will be passed as a new title here. Then I am printing it here. Okay, so this is how we can pass the data from child component to parent component. This is how we can do two-way passing of data in the React. So from React 18 onwards, they have done two way of passing the data. Previously there is only one way of passing the data. Now they have made it as two way of passing the data. Now we will see what is state. A state is a variable or an object that holds data or information about the component that may change over time. That means a variable, when its value gets changed, the page get re-rendered or refreshed. Re-render means refreshing the page again. It will be getting re-rendered. So the state variable can remains the same till the period after time. Okay, and then it is managed within the component. It should be the state variable will be valued within the component only, or within the hooks in functional component, and determines how the components get re-rendered and how it behaves. So we will see what is hooks in upcoming session. Before that, use state is also one of the hooks in functional components. Okay, so a state variable, how we are going to maintain, that we will see that. We will see an example of a state variable, how we are going to use state in React. Okay, so I will show you an example here. First you have to call use state. which is used for maintaining the state variable in React. Then you have to comment this line. Let's comment this line, because for commenting we have to use double slash in React. For multiple comments you have to say slash star, then star slash. You will say multiple comments. You can give multiple comments inside the for multiple lines. So like this you can give comments. Okay. So this is for commenting the line or a set of lines. Okay. Now we will see how to use state. So we have to declare a constant variable, constant title, comma set title. This is actually called as getter setter. Getter setter means state value and getter setter value. So this is setter, and then I am declaring one function here, constant update title equal to, I am just writing a arrow function here. So most probably we will be using arrow function inside the function app, which is allowed inside writing inside the function app. Okay. Then you have to say set title updated title will be shown here. I'm just putting it. Okay. And then I'm just writing a event here, href is equal to, then on click equal to update title. Okay. Click here to update a title. A simple example of maintaining a state variable. So first we will run this program and see what will be the value output. Okay, I'll go to that. You can see here it doesn't show anything here, so we'll say use state is equal to welcome to smiklearn program. You can declare like this, you can initiate like this. You can say use state is equal to double quotes. First initially it will say the title value will be, this title value will be welcome to smiklearn. So it will show welcome to smiklearn here first time. Okay, you can see here. Okay, if you click here it will say updated. You can see here updated, and it throws error, cannot appear as a descendant of P. Okay. So h1 tag cannot be descendant of A. That is not a warning actually, but you can see here if a single click it will show and again it goes off. So to avoid this we can say event. You can call this as event here, and then say event dot prevent default. Prevent default will be stop re-rendering again and again. You can hear. Can you see this? It is not again re-rendering it. So this will call the repeated events, because we have one issue with the React.js. Whenever a single click is clicked, it will be repeatedly calling that event at least 2 times or 3 times. To avoid this, we can say event dot prevent default. Most probably most of the HTML, CSS programming and all will be using this event dot prevent default for avoiding the repeated events to appear. Sometimes this happens in the React.js or JavaScript programming. Okay, to avoid this we can say event dot prevent default. So now I explain this program. So on click is an event which we can use it is in the anchor tag. This event will trigger this updated title function. This updated title function is the function here, and this event will be triggered here. Okay, this is actually event, no? So we can pass this event here, then event dot prevent default. Then I have declared here constant title equal to set title. Title is a get title, actually is a getter. Set title is the setter. Okay. So initially you have to say use state, then you can declare any value here. Then set title is equal to updated title will be shown here. So whenever first time it will renders, first time when it is renders, it will show the title. Which title it will show? Welcome to smiklearn program. Whenever I am clicking this click here button, click here ahref tag. So this updated title will be called and event will be triggered. What event? On click event will be triggered, and then this set title will be happen. So when set title happen, again it re-renders and the title will be shown here. I'll show you the example here. Once again I refresh it. First time it will show welcome to smiklearn. When I click it here, it will show updated title will be shown here. Okay. Now you can see this state variable. This is how state variable works. Next we will see hooks. Hooks are the functions which can be used in our code. So hooks is the function which are already defined inside the React. We can call that functions anywhere else in the program and we can use it. Like use state. A previous example we have seen use state, right? That is also one of the example of hooks function. And then it is a new feature of React. All the hooks functions are new features. In previous 16 versions and all, we don't have this hooks. In currently after the 16 versions, we started using these hooks and we have many functions from the React which has hooks functions. Then it has a backward compatible, which means does not contain any breaking changes. You cannot break any changes inside that function. Okay, whatever they defined that function, we can use it. That's a hooks in React. Some of the function we can see it here. Use state, already we have seen this one example for maintaining the state variable, and then we have the use effect function which we will see in the upcoming session. What is the use of use effect? This is actually we call it as life cycle. And then we have the use state function. So these are the some of the functions we have seen here using the hooks.